How I buy ammo and reloading components has significantly changed post-COVID. And as a result, how I organize and store my ammo and reloading components, that needs to change as well. And I suspect that's true for a lot of you. So today we're diving into organizing and storing ammo. Before we go getting too deep into this, I want to start by saying there is no one way to store and organize ammo and reloading components. We're all in different situations, we all have different needs, and our needs are going to change over time. For myself, I started out a young man, just a few firearms, and over time I added more firearms. Well, that meant more ammunition. And with that said, we're all in a post-COVID world now. Everything changed in 2020 for all of us, or most of us anyway. Prior to 2020, I didn't buy in quantity on anything. I could just run down to Walmart or my local gun shop and get a box of rifle cartridges or shotgun shells, 22 pistol cartridges, whatever I needed. And same for reloading components. I would just run down to my local gun shop and get a box of 100 or maybe 200 or 300 primers and or pound of powder, 50 bullets, cases, whatever I needed, it was there, and I could just get what I needed, and then that was it. All right, well, since 2020, I hadn't been able to do that. Like so many of you, I'm ordering a lot online now. I can get some cartridges from a local gun shop, not many. And as far as reloading components, I hadn't seen any of them in a long time. So I'm buying online. Online is a lot more expensive, and it's not just more expensive now in terms of inflation due to the shortage, with just the prices being higher, period, on everything. It's also a lot more expensive shipping, because with a lot of our components and ammo, we have to pay an extra hazmat fee in addition to the shipping charges, at least here in the U.S. That adds to the cost significantly. So when I do order online, when I am able to find what I need, which isn't all that often, I try to order higher quantities because that's going to help offset some of the shipping and hazmat fees. There's only one hazmat fee no matter how much I buy. So the more I buy, the less that fee is going to affect me per item. So I'm buying more. Plus, case of primers. How often do you run across primers? You tend to stock up when you do. So we have larger quantities. Their stuff's harder to find, or at least in my case. I've got more of it now. So I need to be more organized with it. Plus, as I've gotten older, I've added more firearms to my collection. I'm doing more shooting, especially since I started a YouTube channel. I've got more ammo in general to keep organized. Plus, because I'm buying higher quantities, I need to store this stuff longer. All right, and that's the big thing right there, is the storage. Okay, my friend Joey, his reloading bench is inside of his house and it's climate controlled. He's got shelves and everything just laid out on the shelves. He's really got it organized. He's always been great at organization. For myself, I'm out in my shop. This is where I reload. This is where I keep most of my components. It's not climate controlled here. Plus, I'm in the South. We have Southeast. We have really high humidity. Humidity's not good for any of this. And then we have being outside, not climate controlled. I've got changes in temperatures. These primers do not like that. Powder does not like humidity. The ammo itself doesn't. So I'm going to show y'all what I'm changing, what I'm doing for myself today. And I'm going to talk about why as we go. And then you can figure out what your needs are and go from there for what works best for you. For myself, I'm taking two approaches. For the actual factory ammo, okay, I keep this inside. It's piled up on my gun safe. That's what I do with my factory ammo, and it's a mess right now, and I got a lot of ammo stacked up there. Okay, I want to organize it, and even though it's inside, it isn't subject to the changes in humidity and temperature that everything out here is. Long term, it's still good if your factory ammo is sealed. And that's where ammo boxes come in. Ammo boxes were designed specifically to protect ammo. So they have rubber seals in the top that make them airtight. And then you throw a couple of those decadent packs in there just to get rid of humidity, or just one, and you can store that ammo for a really long time. All right. Inside, it's a lot more protected, but it's still exposed to heat and humidity. And I've seen over the years with some of my older ammo that it's showing its age. And so I want to do a better job of protecting it, but also organizing it so it's not just stacked up. And the approach I'm going to take is just ammo boxes. Again, that's what they're made for. Okay, so I want to take various ammo boxes. All right, and let me say, for inside on top of the gun safe, I'm still going to stack this on my gun safe. I like the plastic boxes inside. The metal boxes, surplus military ammo boxes, they are significantly stronger, made significantly better. On top of my gun safe, though, I don't have to worry about the plastic scratching it like this. Plus, in the case of these MTM boxes like this one, I've got a crate over here I'm going to pull out shortly when I get into the reloading supplies. 4 of these or 5 of these all fit together, stacked side by side in a little plastic crate, and then it's stackable on top of that. And then in addition, okay, I have not tried these yet, but these are made by MTM. These are ammo crates, what they're calling it. And I'm going to leave links below to everything, Amazon links for everything, if any of you are interested in it. And full disclosure, I do get a percentage of a percentage of a percentage if you purchase something through one of those links. But anyway, I wanted to let y'all know, and I'm not just pushing this. This is what I'm buying for myself, and I'm going to get more. I'm starting out with just a couple to try it and see what fits where. And then when I see what works and what doesn't, I'll add more of this or more of that. And as far as reloading, you'll understand why when we get into it. But they make these in 2 sizes, these ammo crates. They've got the big one on bottom here, and they are stackable, and then the smaller ones. What I'm going to do is, inside the house, I don't want these stacked up on top of my gun safe. The problem when you start stacking things is this. Okay, I've got 3 here. Now I need to get to this one. All right, so I got to pull all of this off to get to it. Okay, I don't want to have to just constantly, unstacking crates to get to whatever. That's the great thing about the ammo cans on top of the gun safe. I can put them side by side and get to what I need. All right, so that's what I'm doing with the ammo cans. But I am going to use one of these on top of the gun safe for shotgun shells. These can hold a lot of shotgun shells. So that's my plan for my purchased ammo. I want a ammo can for each caliber pistol I have. I want an ammo can, the ammo crate for shotgun shells. Might end up with 2. I want an ammo can just for 22s, an ammo can for 22 mag. And then I might end up with 2 for factory rifle ammunition. I don't have a lot of factory rifle ammunition anymore since I got into reloading. And this is going to change with time for me. Again, like I said, our needs change over time. I didn't reload many pistol rounds in the past. For me, there was no point, because I could go to the store and 9mm ammo was so cheap compared to what it would cost me to reload it that I just didn't bother. Same for 380. Things have changed now. So I do have the dies and components and everything for reloading my pistol cartridges. So therefore, I'm not going to need as much factory ammunition. So But for now, that's what I'm thinking for myself. And these ammo crates here, they also have the rubber seal around the top. So that's gonna keep these airtight and protect the brass in here from oxidizing over time. I guess that's what happens to it. But the humidity will take out brass. So it's just throw a decant in there. I'm good. I can get to what I want. And I'm going to label each can. That way I can look and see, okay, 9mm, 380, rifles. And that's what I've always done on my ammo cans. So this is 257 Roberts here. That way I can see what's what. And that's the downside to keeping stuff inside of a container is, well, now you need to know what's in the container. And you can't just look and see versus like my friend Joey with everything on shelves. He can just look and see, okay, I've got this, this, and this. So I need to write down what's what on the can, but I also want to keep an inventory of what's in each can. That way I just know what I have. And then I'm going to do that electronically in a spreadsheet. And then I'll take just a piece of paper, throw it in the top of the can on top of the ammo with the inventory list. If I get something out, I can just scratch it off. And this is something I've been doing for reloading components, but I'm going to apply that to everything now. So I've got my list of what's in the can just laying on top of the ammo. I get a box of 380s, I go to the range, I practice, I scratch that off the list, change that number, and then I keep a sheet on the computer that matches the sheet in here. And the reason for the sheet on the computer, if I'm shopping and I see online and I see 380 ammo, target ammo, and it's on sale, I can pull up my list and see, okay, I've got a ton of 380 target ammo, I don't need to buy any, and I can keep going. Or I can see, okay, hunting cartridges, I've got 3 bullets left for Winchester and 303 British. Might want to pick up a box. All right, so when I look at that list and when I'm online or shopping, run across whatever, I can just reference it. Do I actually need this? Yeah, I do, and buy it. Okay. Now, for reloading. Now, reloading, as many of you already know, is a lot more complicated. There's so much more stuff. I say it's more complicated. As I've added more firearms, for me it's becoming, or has become a lot more complicated. Initially, when I started, it's really simple. I loaded for 2 or 3 rifles. And what I would do, and this is still the basis of what I do, I had an ammo box for each rifle. And then I would just store everything for that rifle, for that cartridge, and ammo box. This is my 308 box. Got 308 brass, hunting brass, target brass, and then I keep my bullets in here as well. So I've got target bullets and I've got hunting bullets in here. So that worked. It worked well when I loaded up ammo. I would take a small 50 round case holder like this. MTM, this is Frankfurt Arsenal. They're all good. I've realized I really like these little cheap Frankfurt Arsenal cases just because they're small. I'd put a label on the holder, okay, 257 Roberts, whatever. Put my cases in here. I'd do 25 cases generally at a time. When I do my load testing, it's usually for 20 rounds. I would load up a couple extra just for bore sighting or whatever I may need to do. In cases, when they come in a pack, it's usually 50 to a pack. So start out 25 cases, work them up, load up my bullets, go do my load testing, whatever I needed to do. Okay, I find a good load, then I load everything to that load. And then put my spent brass back in here, and I can always look at my brass, and if it's not clean, then I know it's recently fired or needs processing. If it's clean, I know I've already taken the brass and I've already resized it and it's ready to go. So that's worked out really well. And then after Usually 4 or 5 firings on brass, I'll put it in a Ziploc bag and put it to the side. Used to, I would just get rid of it. And the reason for that is the neck tends to get work hardened after so many firings and sizings. If you anneal, that eliminates that, but I never bothered annealing. So after five cycles through on my brass, I'd just get rid of it. Brass was inexpensive. I could get more, no problem. That's one of the things that's changed, and I will be looking at doing annealing in the future. And now I'm taking my brass after 5 firings, or 4, putting it in a Ziploc bag, labeling it for what rifle it goes to, and this needs annealing. All right, so anyway, this has worked well for me. The problem is I have greatly outgrown this. I keep most of my reloading stuff on a cabinet underneath the bench here behind the press. And I keep everything on a sliding drawer here. That way I can just slide the drawer out and get to everything. But as you can see, I have become very disorganized and I've completely outgrown this. So I'm going to make some changes here. Now keep in mind, that shelf didn't always look like that. But over time, as I've added more rifles and cartridges, it's just grown. And the overwhelming majority of that mess you just saw is brass. Right. And notice I keep it all in, it's either in the back, factory bag, which can oftentimes be resealed like a Ziploc. And some of these are brand new, never been opened. Some have been opened and then resealed. It's either in there or I keep it in a Ziploc bag. I want it airtight and protected, especially from the humidity. And if brass, just like cartridges, if not stored correctly, you're going to run into issues. It corrodes, basically. It takes a while to do it, but it will. That's the reason for this deep ammo crate. Most of the brass comes in these long, narrow packages. I figure this will be perfect for putting my brass in. Right. The downside to this, with all the brass sitting in here like this, I can't just readily see what I've got. And same way for everything in a can. This is full. Okay, that's pretty good. I like that. Now my brass is together in one spot. It's in a can, so it's sealed as far as being in plastic bags, but the container's also sealed. Okay, I think this is going to work out pretty good, and I'm going to order another one of these, and that should take care of all my brass as far as in bags. Now, after I start using brass, that's what all of this is, to brass. It's just for various cartridges. Okay. 270 Ruger M77. Okay, so this is for that rifle. Cases ready to go, cases that I need to clean and process. I still want to protect this, and these cases are not sealed. The downside to little cheap cases like this. So I'm going to try these smaller cases for this. So let's see how many I can get in here and how well they stack. I think this shallow crate's going to work out pretty well for my 50 round boxes after all. I can only get 4 in here. It's not the greatest fit, but I've got space left over in the front for my boxes of 20 for factory ammo brass, or for the just smaller packs for brass, 20 rounders. It's going to work out pretty good. I just need to order a couple of more of these just for storing those 50 round boxes. Now for bullets. I keep my bullets in just a small ammo can. It's 257 Roberts. And in here I've got 1, 2, 3, 6 boxes of bullets in here. And 2 of the boxes are 100 round boxes, and it looks like maybe a couple of them are 50 round boxes. No, that's 100 rounds also. So these can hold quite a few bullets. The great thing about the small cans versus the big ones is they're a lot lighter. Bullets are heavy. And this is the crate that holds 4 of these. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to order another one of these crates that holds 4. Keep it inside for my ammunition on top of the gun safe. And then have one out here just for bullets. And then even right now, this is my 22 mag box, and I've got nothing but 22 mag factory ammunition in here. So it's come in handy for that. So yeah, one for factory, one for bullets out here in reloading land. Again, they're all sealed, and that's the main thing. And I've got a box of Hornady interlocks here that they feel kind of grimy. I mean, when you feel the bullet, it just, I don't know, it's like a coating on them or something, and just gritty almost. That's got to be from the humidity. And the lead tips will put out a powdery residue, which, by the way, I'm going to wash my hands when I'm done here. Lead in a solid form isn't that dangerous. But when it becomes vaporized in the air, firing, when it gets old and it gets that white, kind of milky looking, crusty residue, it gets dangerous then. It can get in your bloodstream, and you don't want that. I want these sealed up. I've been keeping these in an ammo can, so I'm surprised to see that. And none of my other bullets are this way. Just maybe I left these out on particularly humid summer or something. I don't know. I've had them for a while, but I think that's the route I'm going to go from a bullets, from a factory ammo, from a brass. That covered us on brass and bullets, but I almost forgot powder and primers. And for powder and primers, they're chemical compounds, and heat and humidity take a toll on them. For powder, humidity changes the velocity of what you're going to get from your bullet. And if exposed to a lot of humidity over time, it's going to make your powder weaker. Sort of like gasoline, it becomes not as potent when exposed to the environment. Now, new powder is sealed from the factory, and it's going to be okay for a while. But once you've opened it, all right, you break the seal, then it's exposed to the humidity. And for my case, even if it's factory sealed, either way, I want to store my powder in an airtight container and with decadent pack in there to absorb moisture. And I'm going to get 2 more of these deep containers just for powder. I think that'll take care of all my needs. And this, as is, holds 7 1-pound containers of powder. The old standard round ones. It could hold a bunch of the new smaller ones with the ball powder. And for primers, I've always used ammo cans for my primers. I want to protect them. In the past, I only used 1 ammo can because I didn't get many primers. Since then, stocking up, I keep a ammo can for pistol, I keep an ammo can for small rifle, ammo can for large rifle, and I break them up into what types. All right, so this is CCI large rifle, and then I've got one for Federal premiums. I'm good on these. I just need a couple more cans for powder just to make sure it's protected. And I think that's going to cover most of my needs right there. So that's what I'm doing with my ammo. And I would love to go ahead and just put everything in these ammo crates and back on the shelf and show you all everything nice and pretty and organized. But I can't because I got to order more of these crates. I just got a few of these to try them out, see what I thought, see how things fit in them, and see how many I'm going to need. These aren't cheap, so I didn't want to go ordering just a bunch of them. Same with these. It's not cheap. But these are MTM, and MTM generally makes really good stuff. I don't mind paying a little extra for MTM, and you can get ammo cans from Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight has probably come out with something like this by now. I don't know, but the MTM stuff is quality stuff. And then with these, if you get another one, they do stack on top of each other, and same with these. So I think this is going to work for me and what I'm doing. And then I'll order the extra ones I need. And stuff costs us money. I've said many times in the past that the more we have, the more it costs us to organize it, maintain it, store it, and so forth. But our ammo and our reloading supplies, that's an investment. I don't see it getting any cheaper in the future. I think we're in for a lot of inflation for a lot of years, and just the raw materials, brass and so forth, is going to cost. And in my case, y'all just saw a lot of what I have. Keep in mind, I've got 2 more shelves just like the one y'all saw. Not near as much stuff on them, but I'm good probably the rest of my life on most of this. If I get a new rifle chambered and a new cartridge, I'll need to get new brass, but most of this I'm good from now on. I want to protect what I got. I've already invested in this. I want to protect it and make sure it lasts as long as I do, which is hopefully going to be a long time. Now, friend Joey, something he mentioned I thought was a pretty good idea. He's talking about getting a lockable storage cabinet for his ammo. He's inside controlled environment. He's not nearly as concerned about having everything sealed and the rubber seals and stuff, having it airtight like I am. And he had a good point. He said the way things are going, prices of ammo, we're going to get to the point where people are going to break into your house and they're going to leave the guns and steal the ammo. He might be onto something there. So, yeah, this is what I'm doing. And I said we would be out at the range today doing the length testing on that 1903A3, but it rained today. So we're organizing instead, and that's okay because I really needed to do this. So, God bless, and y'all have a great day.